As students begin to reflect on the past year of quarantine, they see trends and similarities in their experiences. Many West Albany students turned back to their childhood interests as a form of comfort during these confusing and chaotic times. Here are their stories.
The interest that I reverted to over quarantine would be doing more watercolor. I was in third grade when I had art lesson. I took art lessons from a neighbor. I was pretty young when I learned everything, but I still remember a lot of the stuff that she taught me about it. So I kind of do feel kind of nostalgic doing it. People thought I was like still like doing a ton of art stuff, so they would give it to me as like presents, and I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh, I have all the like I have a watercolor set and I have paper, so I could just use that.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, Bastille, and I think that's about it. My dad and my stepsister introduced me to Avatar, and we started watching that when I would visit them over the summer. Avatar, uh, it was put on Netflix, and then like the internet blew up about it, and there was like this whole Atla Renaissance.
Over quarantine, I started to draw more like realistic drawings of like my friends and things. I kind of did art like every once in a while, but there's so much time. And then I went to my friend's house and she had like all this art supplies that she didn't really use. And she had alcohol pens and I was coloring with them and they were really fun to use. And then she also had paint pens and I was like, I want some. And so I got them for Christmas.
I recently found my clay things from when I was younger, and I used to make little trinkets and things like that, and that was one of my interests that I reverted to. There were a lot of specific friends that we bonded over making the clay things, and we used to trade them a lot. I had this clay kit from when I was little, and I discovered a bunch of unopened clay blocks, and so I just started using them and making new things out of them.
I used to play the Wii a lot. So I restarted. I never finished Super Mario Galaxy 2. Everyone had at least one like Nintendo device. The way I got back into it is I watched this YouTuber called the Professor. He plays like Wii games. Then eventually I got to the point where it's like, wow, I really miss, what I used to do. I miss all my old friends. I miss seeing people, which I still do. Super Mario Galaxy 2 and Wii Sports Resort have not solved. That is not good psychological counseling, but it definitely helps. It's like a comfort kind of thing.
I do feel comfort in it, and I also enjoy like sending it out to like grandparents, relatives, especially during the pandemic when everyone was kind of unsure what was going on.
I think that right now, uh, especially in the midst of last year, everything was coming at us really quickly. It was a lot for us to process. And so I think the idea of like starting something new was like, I don't know, just too overwhelming. And so by falling back on the things that you already know and, you have fond memories of, it's more comforting because it's not another new thing for you to like think about.
People can discover their old things, and it just brings them nostalgia.